The 12th of January, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Sounds like Lou's coming.
Back to Lou.
I'm here.
Okay, see you.
Okay.
Yeah, Roy stepped out. He doesn't feel well.
He wrote it in order to take a loan, but he never got the loan.
Rabbi's done Rashi.
Because even if he wouldn't take the loan, Shiabid Nafshe, nevertheless, the lova is obligating himself. He's obligating himself, and he's obligating his property in this type of a shtar hakno. That's what a shtar hakno is. Okay. Okay, so we're up to the words in the Gemora Tiyuvta de Tani Hacha, which can be found on Yud Dalet Amud Aleph. How many lines down from the top? Tiyuvta de Tani Hacha. Where are those words? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines from the top of the page. First word in the line is Lepi Rayon. Oh, Phil is coming in now. Okay, so Lou, would you like to read those words from the Gemora, 7 lines down from the top of Yud Dalet Amud Aleph?
I see Tiyufta de Shmuel. Is that a different Tiyufta?
Yeah.
Is it below that or above that?
Below that.
Okay, let's see if I can find it. Here, Tiyufta de Ketane. There we go.
Okay. Finally got on. Took a while here.
Wow, what happened?
I don't know. You tried calling you because it wasn't really it wasn't entering. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's okay. You were calling on my phone. Yeah, my phone is out of commission for the time being.
Well, I was trying to get you, so I'm trying to tell you where I'm here, and I couldn't get on.
Okay.
Now I'm finally on.
Okay.
There's a problem with because you were trying to get into today's class. Yeah, there's a yeah, I don't know. I just try to get in. Sometimes it doesn't let me get in. Sometimes it doesn't let me open a class on the date of the day that it actually is. So I just say, okay, give me another session, and they give me the following day. So you just have to go in on the next day.
Well, I don't do that. I just click into the link and it goes, and I don't know, but it didn't work. Whatever it is, it kept. I was waiting and waiting and waiting, so I went in and went out, tried calling, but now we're in.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out how to avoid that from happening again. Okay.
You should be able to specify no date. Just start a session.
Mine never specifies a date. It just type the code in and it goes right in. And it just goes into the waiting room. And I'm waiting and waiting and waiting.
Maybe that's not the problem altogether anyway. I don't know.
Anyway, the Brycer poses a refutation to Shmuel's view. The Ketane.
Where are we starting?
We're on 14A1, the right hand from first paragraph. Here, the Brisa teaches Af al pi shenehem modim. even though both the debtor and the creditor concur that the notes were lost by the creditor, lo yachazir lo lezeh below lezeh. The finder may not return them to either the creditor nor the debtor. Alma chayshinan lefiraon. Thus, we see from the Brisa that we need to be concerned about payment and collusion, even if the debtor admits that the debt is still owed. V'chol shekain hacha de lo modeh love. And certainly, where the borrower does not admit that he owes the debt, but claims that he paid it, Dechayshinan lefarayon. Do we have to be concerned about payment? Have to be concerned about payment. If the borrower does not admit that he owes the debt, we have to be concerned about payment. I'm not sure what that means.
In other words, if the loiv, in other words, let's start from the square one. We're talking about we're worried about returning the star to the malva because we're worried that he'll collect with it shelo kedin, improperly. So we got two scenarios. The Gemora says we got a scenario where the modim, even where both of them are moda, that the star has not been paid, right? Even if the loiva together with the malva admits that the star has not been paid, so in that case, the Gemora says we don't give it back to the malva. Why? Because we're worried. Alma chashin and the piroim. We're worried about the fact that he did pay it, and if he did pay it, so what's the concern? That they're making a collusion to collect from the purchaser. That's scenario number one, and so therefore we don't give it back to the malva, to the bar, as a lender, to the lender. But then the Gemara says, and all the more so, kol shekain, all the more so would we be concerned to give it back to the malva in the case the loimoda loiva, where the loiva himself is not admitting that he owes the money, meaning to say he's claiming that he already paid it up. Oh, well, if he already claims that he paid it up, then certainly we won't give it back to the malva because forget about the purchaser, but even the loiva is claiming that he already paid it. So if we give it back to the malva, he's going to try to collect from the loiva, perhaps, and he doesn't entitled to do so. So those are two cases. In other words, we're chayshinin. In both cases, that really, in other words, whatever the loiva says, we're chashinin that that really the loiva has paid it. In both cases. Okay. Rashi.
Okay, where do you want? Which Rashi now?
Let's see what we got in Rashi. Okay, if we're going to read the next Rashi is Dibra Maska V'lo Chashinin Lipiroyin. That's before we just got through saying what we're saying, but we'll read it anyway, but shouldn't get confused over here.
We're not concerned about payment?
Yeah.
Even though he's not chayev, Moda, he admits it. Im Isla the
No,
parade.
no. In chayav moda means that the chayav is not moda. The chayav, remember, chayav refers to a person. It refers to the lova. Even though the moda, even though the even though the loiva is not admitting that he owes anything, meaning to say he's claiming that he doesn't owe anything.
Right. Ein chayiv, if the one who is not chayiv, the one who's love is not chayiv, modi emits the im isla lepereo, that if he paid it off, mikrav mikrahu, that's written somehow. That torn up. That's torn up.
Bear it up.
He tore it up. Mikrahu kara lay. He tore it up. And chichi katani taught afalpi, even though sheshneim modim, both of them agreeing for so on.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's okay. We read that one. Good. Now let's read the next one. This is what we were talking about before. Kol shekain b'she'eno moda. All the more so when he, meaning the loiva, the borrower, is not moda. When he's not moda.
And even the more so, kol shekain she'eno moda, that he doesn't agree. But how low kasha? This is not a question with Rabbi Elazar to Rabbi Elazar, to who Omar, because he says ein chayiv, that if he's not chayiv modeh, lo yachsa, you don't return to him the document. Shum star, and you don't return any document at all. Harui that's fitting legabot to collect it. The Habi, the Kamodi says, Rabbi Meir, Yachzir. Yachzir says you do return it. Mishum Delav Bar Gaveahu. He's not the one. He's not the one who has to pay.
This that Rabbi Meir says return it is because Lav Bar Gaveahu. Now it's what Bar Gavia, meaning someone. That's referring to the piece of paper, the shtar. The shtar is not a bar gavia. It's not a shtar that could be collected with. It doesn't have any force or effect to be able to collect with it. So that's why Rabbi Meir allows that it should be returned to the malva. What's he going to do with it, you'll ask? The Gemora said he's going to use it to stop up his bottles. He doesn't have any bottle stoppers, so he needs this shtar to stop up his bottle. Okay. Okay, fine. Yeah. Yeah, okay, let's go weiter. I'm not, to tell you the truth, I'm not really holding cup in this whole sugya. I'm not really holding. We got to figure out Shmuel, we got to figure out Rabbi Elazar, we got to figure out Rabbi Meir, we got to figure out Rabbanan, and we're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and it's all, for me, it's too much. I can't figure it out. But let's try to go further anyway. Amar Shmuel. Shmuel says, and we go to Lou to read.
Amar Shmuel. My tamai hu to Rabbanan. What is the reason for the rabbis? Savrei acha raius to teus. So fair he who.
Right.
They maintain that the absence of a guarantee in a note is presumed to be an oversight of the scribe, and not an indication that such a guarantee is not implied. So in other words, they're going to say that even if it doesn't have a achrayus, it still has achrayus.
Right. So they're not going to make any distinction between whether in other words, this is the machlekes really between Rebbe Meir and the Chachamim, the Rabbanan. We call the Rabbanan Chachamim. Sometimes we call them Chachamim. Back and forth with that too. This is the machlekes between the Chachamim and Rebbe Meir, because Rebbe Meir makes a distinction in the halacha between whether the shtar has achrayus nechasim or it doesn't have achrayus nechasim. The achrayus nechasim again is the lien clause that puts the property of the leiva on lien to still be available to be taken, even if it's sold to a third party. That's the lien clause. That's the achrayus nechasim. So Rebbe Meir, he makes a distinction in the Mishnah. What do we give it back to the malva if it has this lien clause written in it? If it has the lien clause written in it, we don't give it back to the malva. Why? Because we're worried about collusion. But if it doesn't have such a clause anyway, so then we do give it back to him because doesn't have any ability to collect from the purchaser, from the borrower. But the Rabbanan, and that's based upon the fact that Reb Meir says, well, if it has that clause in it, so that means that they provided the malva with that good thing that he could collect from the purchaser of the property. But if they don't write it in, so he can't do it. But the Chachamim say, no, it doesn't matter whether it's in there or not. Of course, if it's not in there, it's only because the scribe made a mistake and didn't write it in there. And so therefore we're going to assume in all cases that the malva has the ability to collect from the property that's sold after the loan was made. So the Gemora wants to know, why is it? Shmuel explains, why is it that the Chachamim say that there's no difference between whether it's got it or whether it's not? So the answer is because it's a tos sofer. That's what we say. It's a mistake of the sofer. Meaning to say, why is it a mistake of the sofer? Because certainly it was the implied agreement between both parties that there is going to be the ability of the malva to collect from property that is sold to a third party. So if he didn't put it in, it was his oversight. Okay. Do we have a Rashi? Yes, we got a Rashi over here. We got two Rashis even. Phil's got plenty of work today.
Lots of Rashis. Well, let's see which one we're trying to figure where I just left up to.
My time, Mayu D'Rabbanan.
My time, Mayu D'Rabbanan. What's the reason of the Rabbanan? The Omri, they say, Ki Eimbo Achrayot Nechasim. And if it doesn't have the backing of properties, Gova, he has to pay. Afmin hamish within. He does have to pay from his mortgage properties.
Gova, meaning that the malva could still collect. The malva can still collect from the purchaser, even though it doesn't have a clause specifically in the shtar that provides him with this ability. So the Gemora, so Rashi is explaining us something. Why is it that what's the reasoning of the Rabbanan? The reasoning of the Rabbanan about what? Rashi explains us. I like this Rashi very much. Okay. Next Rashi.
Next Rashi. Boy, we're catching up on these Rashis, huh? Okay. The next Rashi. Oh, I lost my place here after I just did this. Okay. Okay, the next one is that's Achrayot.
Right.
That saying that it is a backing, so to speak, that there's a guarantee, is a ta'ut sufa. That's a scribe mistake. K'she'enu katuv star, and if it's not written, if it's not written inside the star, sofahu sheta'ah. This is the scribe who made the mistake. Aval zel lo. This is not that he of the borrower ma'otav from his money below achra without a backing of nechasim, of properties.
Yeah.
The low should they die? It's not enough. Enish people.
Shadi, he doesn't throw. Shadi, he doesn't throw.
Whereas you throw, people don't throw. I don't know what people don't throw. Zuze, because they don't throw money into a bucket, into his pail. I guess people just don't throw money away. So
they don't throw money away. Lending somebody money without getting a backing on if the guy doesn't give back the money, if you don't get no backing, that's called throwing money, big D. Throwing money away. That's what it's called. Okay. And the same goes for investments too. Don't invest your money just because somebody says he's got a great return rate. Find out what he does with your money. Okay. All right. Okay, good. So, we got 2 minutes left. Okay, Alan, Amarle Rava Bar Itai. Oh, I don't know who that is. Rava Bar Itai, interesting. See where that is?
Which page?
It's 1482, very top of the left-hand column.
1482. Okay. Gemora points out the contradiction of Shmuel's explanation, one of Shmuel's rulings. Womanle, Rakba, Bar, Itin, Rav, Idin, Bar, Ben, Rav, Ini, Bar, Amen, Umi, or Bar, Shemuel, and did Shmuel actually say this? For example, in the absence of a guarantee, the document is presumed to be an oversight of the scribe, or Shemuel. What Shmuel said, Shabbat, she booed regarding stipulations of compensation for improvement that a payment be rendered from the choice properties of provision for a lien. So if the scribe wants to insert these stipulations in a document recording the sale of land, he must consult the seller before inscribing them in the document. Thus, we see that permission for a lien must be stipulated in the document for a lien to be in effect, in contradiction of Torah's statement above, that even in absence of such stipulation, a lien is still in effect. You may, shall we say then that the sage who relates the statement in the name of Shmuel Aloha Hora does not relate this other statement of Shmuel, an example, will he reject it as not authentic? Are we faced with conflicting traditions about Shmuel's position in this matter?
Okay, very good. So we'll continue with this tomorrow, Bezrat Hashem.
Amen.
Okay, guys,
Right. Thank you.
take care. Well, thank you.
Everybody have a great week.
And
We-
we hope that Roy feels better.
And refuah shlema to Roy.
And
Shlomo.
Alan, I expect you to be in class tomorrow, Alan.
Hopefully, well, yeah, I'll be here on the tube, and hopefully I make to Rabbi Bam's class. We'll
Great.
see. Okay.
Okay.